Mask off. Welcome back to another episode of the Crown and Collards podcast brought to you by the CSPN. I am one half of your host, Jeremy, aka Black Dante, aka Confucius, aka Issa Durag, aka Junebug of CSPN. And I am joined by my friend and my co host.
What's up, yo?
That's it.
Let's go. Let's get this show started, man. This is motherfucking 3 years of Crown and College for y'all asses. What's going on? How y'all doing out there in the world, internet peoples? Um, I just want to say before we really get started, fuck it, I'm out. No, I'm kidding. 3 years of doing this, man. Like, where's the time gone? I was listening to early episodes of us this week. I listened to like random episodes like number 11 and then like number 26, which was I think when I came back from my vacation in 2015, and then like number 40, and then like the fantasy football joint. And I'm just like, man, this show has really become something in these 3 years. And this ain't about to be one of them shows where we just sit and reflect on that solely. The show will go on like the way it normally does, but I think at minimum it's worth at least saying that much because niggas is out here making content and making shit, work. So
yeah.
yeah,
Like
fuck your boys. Thank y'all for fucking with us. Thank y'all for listening and continuing to inspire us to keep doing this. Because if y'all wasn't listening, we'd have gave up about 80 episodes ago probably. So
yeah, like I feel like 100, 130 plus coming on. Well, yeah, this episode 139 coming up on like 140 and continuing episodes in 3 years. I feel like we deserve to reflect just a tad bit and talk our shit a little bit because we've been doing it. Like I said, we've been creating content consistently for going on 3 years. I think we took off like 1 month and like what 15 or
yeah,
16.
we took off at the end of January. I mean, not the end of January. We took off at the end of December 2015. At the end of
Yeah,
November 2015. So we took that month off kind of to get our shit back together. And then
because
we've
life was
taken
like,
right? And we've taken random weeks here and there where it was like, all right, that was a long ass show. That's enough to hold y'all for 2 weeks. But other than that, man, yeah, it's been just about every week. Like, I mean, if we did this shit literally every single week, and we got episodes we didn't put numbers on, like the two fantasy football joints, we didn't put numbers on. But yeah,
we
so
had that prompt,
52,
that those couple of point fry 5 episodes.
2.5. Yeah, so I mean, when you think about it, 156 weeks, 52 times 3 years. And this is episode 139, so you can do the math again. We ain't missed that much time in the 3 years. So
Right, and I'm
17
proud of
weeks,
our
four of which was planned, so you could take that down to 13. And yeah, we had, like I said, some weeks where we just kind of skipped the weekend there, but
yeah, and like I said, I've been appreciating our consistency, because you know, I feel like we vets in this, but we still growing, we still new. Like it's weird. It's like we young. It's like we old young niggas. You know what I mean? Like, and which is kind of like the motto of our show, honestly. But it's like I've seen podcasts, discontinue. It was podcasts that were started like right around the time that we got started, and they discontinued or couldn't or took breaks and never came back or whatever, and for various reasons, because life be life in or scheduling or you know personal reasons or whatever. But I'm proud of our consistency, and I'm proud that we're able to do this. And we actually plan to have Boss Man CEO Classic join us for this episode, but he is probably somewhere um, with a beer with Miss Classic somewhere, probably scoping out your auntie or something or whatever. But it's fine. It's fine. Maybe he'll join us a little later, but it's fine. But just thank you to Classic for giving us a home and a voice, because I doubt if we were doing this still independently, we would reach 100 and doing it 3 years and still with 130 plus episodes.
Right, we might be at like episode number 65 right now, which
Right.
some might argue, oh well, that's where niggas belong, but no, fuck that. We're doing this shit because we want to, and I mean, I just did the math. So minus the 4 weeks that we took off in December to just get our shit together of 2015, that would leave 4 weeks that was planned. So those 4 out of the 156 leaves 152. Divide that by the 139 that we're on, and that's 91%. That's an A, fam.
That is correct.
That is a collegiate A. That is good grades.
That is correct. And thank you for everybody that's been leaving us reviews and sharing us and helping us grow and stuff. Y'all are greatly appreciated. And you know, when I started this or had the idea to do it, like I knew nothing about what the fuck went into podcasting. I just knew that people that I like were doing this shit, and I wanted to do it too. So and Dan was the only one that really took me seriously, and we was doing this shit. And even Dan didn't really know. We was just going in like fuck it, mask off. We were just freestyling this shit, but we still managed to do enough to like get the attention of Classic and Mel, and then for them to give us a home and for us to kind of just take it on our own and just like run with this shit. And we're an established brand now. Like people look for our shit, and that warms my heart because I did not anticipate this shit at all. And you know, like I'm probably like maybe one of the most humble people you will meet. Like my girlfriend to tell you this, and I get on her nerves with this shit, but it's all right, it's okay. But like I'm probably like one of the least like braggadocious people. Like I really don't like to my own horn, but I feel like in this, like for this, you know, we deserve to toot our own horn a little bit, and we gonna keep giving y'all great shit. Like like the more we grow, and the more like as people, like me and Dan have grown as people doing this shit and grown as friends. I mean, we, you know, and sometimes we don't have enough time to talk like we used to, you know, because life has changed for both of us since we started doing this podcast. But like I feel our friendship has grown, our bond has grown, and like people can see that in the podcast, and that's what keeps drawing them to listen to us every week, or in my case twice a week doing the show with Candace. Like it's something amazing, it's something great, and I'm so thankful to everybody that's been rocking with us.
Yeah, all right, enough of that shit. Yeah, so thank y'all. For real, thank y'all. All right, now let's talk about this shit. Last week we had some homework that we had to do.
That is correct.
And did you do your homework?
I did my homework. I did.
Indeed. So for those of y'all who might have missed last week's show, Jeremy and I are extremely pissed off that video of Odell Beckham Jr. and Russell Westbrook having a dance off still has not emerged.
Still.
And
they had one job.
One fucking job. Somebody recorded that shit. I know it. Y'all record everything.
I bet they recorded that shit and holding it for ransom because they know we want it, you motherfuckers.
I think so.
I don't watch enough damn gangster movies to know a damn stick up when I see it. Shit. God damn it. You evil motherfuckers. Holding it ransom. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Russell and Odell had a dance off. And I forgot I don't really remember how we got to this point, but we got to talking about Chris Brown and Usher having a dance off. And it was like, wait, actually, I just threw that in the Google, and apparently YouTube got some videos of these niggas having a dance off.
That is correct.
Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm slightly let down.
Yeah. Because the videos
what I was expecting and what we got were they weren't the most convergent things. It was kind of divergent. There was a lot of compilation videos of people like basically making clips of like 10 Usher videos and then clips of 10 Chris Brown videos and then calling that a dance off. And it's like, that's not a dance off, you dickwad. That's That's a compilation video.
Right.
A dance off would be if these niggas was in the same room, like Odell Beckham and Russell Westbrook was.
Right. Which that person then failed to record and share with the public. You motherfuckers.
They recorded it. They just not putting it online.
Exactly. We're not letting that shit go.
Right. And so last week, Jeremy and I were like, well, let's do a fun exercise. Who would win in the Usher versus Chris Brown dance off? And then we watched a few of them. And again, the results are pretty meh. But let's go ahead and squeeze the discussion out of this shit. Yeah, who won out of the clips you saw?
It's kind of weird saying like who won out of just like a compilation, but like there were a few clips that we saw that had them niggas on the same stage dancing, and I appreciate that. Like one of my favorite kind of like new songs that I jammed for a long time when it came out is Usher and Chris Brown's song that they had together called New Flame.
Yes.
And the dancing that them two niggas did in that video is fucking amazing. Now, this is a quick side. I don't know why the fuck Rick Ross is on the goddamn song because his verse didn't have shit to do with the damn song. But we're not here to talk about Rick Ross. But
right.
But yeah, from the time that you know what the other thing is, it's so like disappointing that Chris and shit, even in this case with the shit we know about him and the disease he had, Usher, it's so fucked up that these two niggas are not good human beings. Because when you look at them on stage together dancing, they look like they had so much fun, dog. It looked like they really enjoyed dancing together and performing together and giving people a good show. And I appreciate that in artists, especially artists that are like similar in like what they do and shit, and collab with other artists that are similar. Like when they perform together, like they give the people a show, and I love that. But then you remember that, god damn, these some horrible ass niggas. But that aside, I gotta go with Breezy. I feel like from what we saw, like he has the athletic. Obviously, he's at least from what we saw. Like I don't know and kind of really don't care about what Chris Brown does. So I ain't seen a picture of that nigga since God knows how long. So I don't know what he looks like now. I don't know what like dance shape he's in now. But from what the videos we saw, like athletically, I think he fucks Usher up. And that's kind of it's kind of unfair because Usher is older. So if you really wanted to like judge it like fairly, you would have to be like the young Usher in his prime. Not to say he's watched, because I don't think he's watched by any stretch of the imagination. But like for athletic wise, you have to judge like young Usher and young Chris Brown. But I do think young Chris Brown is more athletic. The big knock one would say for Chris is that maybe he's not what's the word I want? Like choreographically. I just made that up. Fuck it, roll with it.
All right, we're gonna allow that.
Yeah, we'll allow it. Choreographically sound as Usher. But I would have to disagree with that. I think it's kind of like, you know how on America's Best Dance Crew, it was that one group of niggas that did all the damn stunts and tricks. What Status Quo. And they were going up against Jabberwockers, and the big knock against Status Quo was like their tricks are amazing, but they don't know how to do choreography. I think people kind of give that rap to Chris Brown, and I have to disagree with that. I think because he's so athletic, it outshines his ability to do choreography. But that nigga can pull off some choreography, dog. Like in his video, that nigga does know how to do choreography. And like he has
wait, hold up. Did you just call Chris Brown Nick Cannon and Drumline before he learned to read sheet music?
Well, look who the fuck decided to drop it. It's the boss man.
Dun, 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 dun. Here comes the new challenger.
What up,
Oh,
y'all?
Everything.
Oh,
Well.
I wasn't gonna miss out on your 3rd anniversary. I did miss your call earlier, and I guess I had a good reason. But I'm glad to be here. I could get into my excuses later, but happy 3 years of Chronic College, especially on the CSPN. Appreciate y'all.
Well, thank you for joining us. Well, I told the listeners that you probably was somewhere with Mrs. Classic plotting on somebody auntie.
Wait. I was doing both of that at the same time because that may or may not be accurate if we both out there plotting on auntie. Nah, but on the series, I was actually out at the local haberdasher getting my shit ready for Bourbon Ball Brooklyn, which is taking place this Friday, up in my home spot, Brooklyn, New York. So I will be up there.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
It's a bad combo. I'm up there with a suit on, looking nice, and drinking unlimited bourbon in my own backyard. So I feel like it might not end well, but I'm gonna go up there and turn up and have a good time anyway. So I was getting my shit like all finalized, if you will.
You got your all white Timbs ready?
Yo, I got my special Avarex tux going.
Now, wait. Now I have to ask: do you have the matching jacket to go with it? Not the tux, but the jacket, just the Avarex jacket.
Yes, and the motherfucking and then I got a Dipset cummerbund. It's going to be lit.
The bezel out with the bezel out low grade bling. Okay.
Yes. Nah. Well, that's the thing about Bourbon Ball, and God bless and shout out to Korn. He's a fantastic human being. Putting this together. I remember the first one in DC. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, Bourbon Ball, come through, drink bourbon, ladies dress up nice, fellas dress up. It's gonna be semi-formal. And I don't know if maybe just motherfuckers don't read, but I remember going to the first one. A lot of us was in suits, like looking like we came off work. There was quite a few motherfuckers in tuxes with the top hat and tails, and I was like, whoa, what part of semi-formal was this?
Well, some niggas don't read, so
Yeah, and Korn was like, I should be the only one wearing a tux. But then I seen all the Bourbon Balls, even the one in Atlanta. There was one in New Orleans. I see more and more dudes turning up looking like Mr. Peanut and Scrooge McDuck, and I'm like, damn, it's like that now.
Hey, niggas be playing. I'm telling you, niggas be plotting on folks' aunties and cousins. I'm telling you.
That's it, man.
But thank you so much for joining us. And now it's really been to be some shit. So Classic, you jumped right in the middle of us discussing Chris Brown and Usher.
Explain to me what's going on between these two, because I've not been following the news. I like to let people know too. I clock in. Like I actually, I do a full work day. I know a lot of y'all work too. I appreciate, all these hardworking people out here. But like when it comes to the Twitter topics, if I get off at 5 and like y'all are like, y'all really about this life? And I'm like, well, I've just clocked into Twitter. I've been working all day. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So are they like having a celebrity boxing match or something? Or what's going on with these two?
No. What it is last week some horrible human being decided not to, where they recorded Russell Goldbrook and OBJ having a dance off, but not releasing it to the public. So we thought, we was like, we wonder who would win in a dance battle between Usher and Chris Brown, and we gave ourselves homework to watch videos of them two niggas dancing together or against each other, and we didn't find anything, but we did find compilation videos of them niggas dancing.
We found enough to bring a discussion out of this.
Yes.
Which is very much, but
I'm mad y'all watch game film on these two. Like
we have to
NFL and shit.
We have to go into this shit, informedly, right? Because basically this discussion, I forgot how we got to the discussion about them two. This discussion was gonna be the kick dough for the all right. Well, who's gonna win between OBJ and Westbrook?
Yes.
And so that's what we, again, we just having this discussion. This is just fun shit because the world is kind of fucked right now. And
yeah,
I don't want to bring that to our 3-year anniversary. So we just having fun with it. We talking about.
I would say OBJ. I've not seen Westbrook like dance. I got a feeling though, Westbrook has so much power and like Jedi mind trickery over his team. It don't matter if he comes out and busts like a really whack dance. Like he's
they gonna hype him up. Yeah.
They gonna be like, oh, that was dope. That was dope. Like, like everyone's just like they don't want to get on his bad side. So they'll just be like, whatever.
Listen, Steve Allen's gonna carry that nigga out in a cloak like he fucking James Brown. Listen to me. Listen, love you. Get you somebody that love you like Steve Adams love Russell Westbrook. Okay,
for real.
But
now they got Melo too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. But anyway, but I feel like we, and because he's such a horrible human being, we kind of undervalue like Chris's athleticism because as much as dancing is about like choreography and style and shit, it's also about athletics. Like Usher was athletic as fuck in his prime, and like I feel like because we're so jaded, and rightfully so, that Chris Brown is such a horrible human being. Because we've seen this topic on Twitter before, where it's like we've seen niggas argue about Chris Brown versus Usher and dancing, and niggas just don't even entertain the possibility that, hey, Chris Brown might be as equal or if not better a dancer than Usher. And it's like, I feel like because he's such a horrible human being, people just don't even consider it. But if you look at the tape, like Clayson said, if you look at the tape, you're like, I don't know him now. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this: Chris Brown has more raw talent. Like he's like, remember Usher? They both debuted as kids. Like Chris Brown debuted as a youngster. Usher debuted as a youngster. Usher, we mostly knew him back then. I mean, he danced in a couple videos, but it wasn't until Relationship they started busting some moves. But we knew him mostly as like the guy that sang and had the funny looking nose. Yeah. And so it was like, oh, okay, this motherfucker could dance too. Cool. Chris Brown, that first song, it was like, boom, singing, dancing. And then when he got to by the time he was doing that shit with Weezy and shit, that was like the video, he was like doing the dance and shit. It was like, oh, this motherfucker's popping and locking while he's walking and singing to us and shit. Like he's doing all this. And so Usher, it's more, he is more choreographed than Chris Brown is, and he's got more experience. And that's why people put him over, because he's older, he's got more experience. But I think at this point, if they did a dance off and they had to improvise or freestyle it or just whatever have you, Chris Brown might dance him under the table.
Yeah.
And the only thing I would say kind of counter to that, because I mean, we got two people arguing for Chris Brown now, and somebody got to take up Usher back on this issue.
True.
Is I think Usher would hit him with a dancing version of Old Man Gang.
True. Usher been around a lot more old dudes a lot longer than Chris Brown. Chris Brown, Usher, type of motherfucker, he won't listen to Old Man. He can be like,
Usher would be the type, he would pull some shit out that nobody thought he had in him because he ain't never showed it despite dancing for 20 plus years. And he might fuck Chris Brown up on some shit because so in one of the videos I saw, Chris Brown, he did his thing, and then Usher kind of did this thing. We kind of turned to the side and kind of had his back semi to Chris Brown and semi to the crowd, and he was doing this little flexing and shit. And then he did the thing he did in the "You Make Me Wanna" video where he stepped out of both shoes.
Yes, and then set the shoes on fire. Yes.
And then set them on fire. And it was like, damn, that's a move he went in the vault for that shit. Like,
yeah, that's a retro. Yeah, that was a retro move.
Usher has done a lot of fucking dance moves since then. He pulled that shit back out. And it's like
Usher will hit Chris Brown with the "Hold My Cane" from 5 Heartbeats. Like, hold my cane. It's like I thought that ain't shit. like you ain't doing nothing I ain't seen before. You know what this reminds me of? And I mean, this is another like all-time debate, but for some people got settled. Remember Michael versus Prince, and like remember they had that thing with James Brown when they was like all on stage together.
Uh-huh.
And so Michael and James Brown kicking it, dancing, whatever, and then they cut to Prince, and Prince is like does some little simple shit, and James Brown's like whatever, man, and like he's kind of like shoves them off, like come on, man, you gonna come out here and dance, or you gonna fuck around, it's kind of like, oh, I guess that settled that, but people still to this day is like, oh, is it Michael, is it Prince, because of other aspects of it. Not to say Prince can't dance. It's just, you get up there on stage with Michael and James Brown, you got to show something. I think Usher is more likely to pull some shit out his ass. And look, this is going to Game 7. This ain't going to be no, sweep where Chris Brown's going to wash Usher and that's it. It's going to be like, they're going to go back and forth. It's going to be like, oh, these motherfuckers is dancing their asses off.
Right. It will just like Russell and OBJ, it will be the dance battle we deserve, but we'll never.
People gonna be like in the crowd, like with they're gonna put up like Rihanna signs and herpes signs or whatever, like to distract them and shit. It's gonna be like,
oh no, baby, what you doing?
They're gonna put up the cockroach signs. And they're gonna flash signs and shit to distract them. You know how like they try to distract you with the free throws and shit.
Yeah. Come on, boss man.
Too soon. I'm sorry.
Come on, bro.
I mean, he's right.
On my own network. You with that?
You're not wrong.
Right. You're not wrong. God.
Points to the lie.
You know what though? You right, but I feel like Chris, like if push came to shove, he would pull some shit like how he did in Stomp the Yard. I mean, not how he did. How he did in Stomp the Yard, where the motherfuckers thought that they in the beginning. He thought they had him, and then this motherfucker like defy gravity and stand upside down and shit. Like I feel like he would pull one of them and but I also agree like it would be like if Chris do that, then Usher pull out the old man like stutter step fade or some shit where it's just like
he'll pull some shit we didn't see from like the My Way video.
Yes.
Something that's on the cutting room floor. He'll go back and be like, I did that before, didn't I?
Right.
And then just give it to him.
Well, let me ask this question though. Like, I mean, the two of them are gonna go face to face, head to head. Who's gonna give them the challenge after that? Like, who's next up?
That's a good question. That's a good question because I don't know like any like new like singing dancing ass nigga, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
That's a good ass question though.
I was Miguel the guy that like leg whip clothesline some lady jumping in the crowd.
Yeah, at the BET was he clothesline that
gave her a leg lariat.
Is she still with us?
Shout out to the Wrestlecast. He gave her a leg lariat.
Yeah. Is that woman still with us? Did she sue him?
I think she settled it. They got settled out of court or something.
That would make sense. But yeah, I can't think of any like new young like. Does Jaden Smith dance? I feel like Jaden will open his third eye and just pull out some shit from like another universe that ain't nobody seen. Like Usher ain't seen it, Chris Brown ain't seen it, Michael Jackson in heaven ain't seen the shit. Like I feel like if Jaden Smith dance, he would just pull some shit out of the ether and just blow everybody's mind away.
See, my thing is this: like a lot of these kids out here doing these dances and that's participating in like the like the Juju on that beat and like the Running Man challenge and all that type of shit. But I don't know who's making the songs. You know what I mean? Like even Chris Brown is not quite making the songs the way he once was. Like I mean, he still got little jams and shit, but not like he used to. And I don't know who is like up next behind him. Soulja Boy, maybe? Fuck, I don't know.
That shit, I don't even. Is Soulja Boy still with us? Shit. Like,
yeah, actually. I saw his name in the news something recently.
Fuck, I didn't think he was still with us.
Speaking of boxing, he was supposed to box Chris Brown a while back. Wasn't he like training with Floyd or one of them two?
Yeah, when they had their little tizzy over Caruso. That's the last time. That's the last thing of Soulja Boy that I remember. But yeah, I feel like there's not really a wrong answer in this. Like I said, this is just fun, just to talk about. But I listen. If it's any way possible that in an alternate world we could get Chris Brown and Usher dancing against each other, I would pay a fortune to watch that shit. I really would. Like that, like I said, that's some shit that we deserve that we'll never get.
I don't know. We might get that because this new Flame song, like if it take off like it's expected to, I don't know, man. They might. Yeah, I don't know how long it's been. It's been been out for a little while at least. But
at least like 2 years.
Yeah, like but I'm saying like if OBJ and Russell Westbrook out here dance battling, and that's a song where you got two of the most preeminent R&B niggas dance battling, and what if they made the new Flame challenge?
Yes.
Yo, what if they made the new Flame challenge though? Like
have a bunch of niggas in like flamboyant jeans just having you got served ass dance videos of that shit. That would be fucking epic, and I would live for it.
Dog, because I mean, think about it. The song that they used for the Running Man challenge, My Boo, that song 20 some odd years old. Like songs could come back into circulation. Don't think they can't.
Shit was out when I was in college. That shit took me back.
Here come old man Jamal. Gotta. And I don't say that for me. I say that more for Jeremy, who was like 5 when that song came out.
Wow. This is what we're doing. Wow.
Yeah, that song was like every last one of us was like, you don't know nothing about this is Young Blood. We was old man
boy
jumping to the front. And it was like, and then of course we was all purists, like, that ain't no motherfucking Running Man. But that wasn't the Harlem Shake either. We was all doing that shit then. So that's how we ended up here.
Yep.
So let's get the new Flame challenge going, where the loser got to light their shoes on fire. Not that I'm saying Usher lost in that case.
They light their shoes on fire. Like in the video.
New Flame, the shoes on. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm glad we skipped over the fidget spinner challenge. I don't know what that would have been.
A damn disaster.
Yeah.
That's what the hell it would be.
Y'all see that video when the fidget spinners was like all hidden and shit? They put blades on the end of them and like started blowing them with the compressed air can and shit.
Shit, what? Wait, what?
I did not see.
It's like they have videos. I saw this on a TV thing, like a TV spot, like 2020 or one of them shits or Dateline. It was like fidget spinners are fun, but watch out. And so they showed like this. They cut to this YouTube video of these kids putting. They would put the fidget spinner on their hand, and then they would spin it, and then they would get a compressed air can and blow it, and that shit would like go super super duper fast, but it would like burn your skin off your fucking finger.
Oh dear.
Or they would have it spinning, and then they would they would dip it in like lighter fluid and light it on fire and spin it. Or they would do the thing where they would put blades on the end of it and spin it and like just throw it like ninja stars and shit. Like people was like going all the way left with the fidget spinners, like weaponizing them shits. And of course, it's on YouTube, so little kids could watch that shit and pick it up and go, well, kids don't try that at home or whatever. So it's like. They take something that's supposed to be like for kids' attention and like, well, you ever did fidget spinners on weed? That kind of thing. They went super far with it.
You ever got drunk and played with a fucking fidget spinner, fam? You ever did that?
Right. We fucking Issa Rae gonna have to do a PSA about the shit.
That's the only person niggas is listening to right now. I feel like.
hey, but shout out to Issa though. I root for black people. Shout out to her.
True.
But let's but I don't root for this motherfucker. So this nigga B.O.B. is starting a GoFundMe to launch multiple satellites into space to prove that the Earth is flat.
That's cool. Next topic.
What's the last record he put out? What was the name of it?
Exactly. Exactly.
I feel like you should be working on a new record or album if you got all this energy to start GoFundMes and shit. Like, why aren't you writing some new shit? that we can ignore.
Right.
Wale found a way to keep himself busy and keep putting out records, even though we ignored him years ago. Why did B.O.B. not like pick up the message?
This nigga said, "Damn science, I'm gonna prove that the Earth is flat." A nigga named Bobby Ray, it started a GoFundMe. First of all, nigga, don't you have money? Why you need a GoFundMe to start research to prove that the Earth is flat? What the fuck? What?
Hey, rap money is long, but it's not long enough to get no satellites and shit. He probably went up to Iridium or one of them satellite companies, was like, so how much does it take? He went to the CEO of Virgin, Richard Branson. They was like, how much is it gonna cost me to put a satellite in space? Was like, about 3-4 billion. Oh, well, I only got like a couple, like maybe 20 million in down payment. Can I do a layaway plan? And like, nah, you spend right. Money.
Hey, this nigga gonna do a loan for a satellite.
B.O.B.'s net worth $5 million, dog. His money's not long at all. Like,
wait, hold on. It's all?
That's it.
Jesus. Shit.
Now let me contextualize that. T.I., who has been in trouble with the law more times than we can fucking count, his net worth is $50 million.
I can see that. T.I. been in some movies and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's done other things. He's got the TV show.
You know how to speak in thesaurus?
Yeah, exactly.
He's written and shit. Like, I mean, like his money's pretty long. Fabulous, who I don't think has put a proper album out in probably let me not speculate. His net worth is $20 million.
Wow.
This nigga B.O.B. said, I'm gonna read the article.
So he is. So let's just do this. His net worth before you jump in. His net worth is $5 million, and he's trying to raise $1 million to prove his point about these satellites. So he has $6 million.
Well, I gotta think he's not putting any of his money in if he's trying to raise just $1 million. And if his net worth is $5 million, like he probably got maybe a couple $100,000 to put into this thing himself. But he's like them sports with the stadiums where they want the public to subsidize it. Like, oh well, we can get this new stadium if y'all kick in, and pretty much you're paying for the whole thing. So he's got his hustle on. And excuse me, and I'm sure any listeners listening to this might have thought the same thing. I, for a split second, confused B.O.B. with Lupe Fiasco, because to me they both the same, one and the same by this point. Like they
full
on. Yeah. So it might as well be Lupe Fiasco asking for the satellite in space, and I wouldn't even care. I'd just be like, oh, that motherfucker's still making music?
I just tweeted the GoFundMe link, nigga. The fact that
don't do that, delete that tweet, because like it's not like Kickstarter. He can cash in on that shit whatever he want. So if I throw $10 to him sarcastically, and turn out this is only $10, he got $10 off of me.
Nigga, this nigga has 71 people in 5 days have donated $2,000 to this nigga.
Oh boy.
Dog. What? I'm looking at it now. Some people have donated five. Nigga. The Museum of Conspiracy donated $100.
Wait. The Museum of Conspiracy?
Yes.
I bet you that joint is pronounced the Museum of Conspiracy. That's probably how you have to say it.
Holy shit. What is it with
Yeah. I agree.
And then it's gonna put some satellite. It's not gonna get. What does he think he's gonna find? That it's like a dinner plate, and then that's it. The Earth is done, and And if so, is he going to like get the last laugh? Like him and Kyrie going to do a benefit to like telethon or concert or something just to clown everybody? Like we was right, motherfucker. Like I don't understand it. This ain't the Matrix, man. We ain't all taking the red pill.
Right. This nigga B.O.B. Jesus Christ. I'm more upset at the fact that people have donated to this nigga than the fact that he's started a GoFundMe for this shit. This is a scam. This nigga is scamming people. This is a goddamn scam.
I'm
nigga,
sorry, y'all. I mean, I know people got like GoFundMe and Cash App and all that stuff, and the PayPal, the oath. But I need to fuck with Patreon only because I need something back. You're gonna give me a single, a cartoon, a dinner napkin written with my name on it, something. I'm not giving you all this money. You ain't gonna give me shit back.
This nigga. I don't even want to say pray for B.O.B. He just a goddamn idiot.
He lost.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Ladarius Barkevius Bartholomew Christ.
You say Barkevius?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember that's a real name. I forget which NFL player, but it's somebody in the NFL that's named Barkevius.
I know who
Barkevius
he is.
Mungo.
Mingo of
Yes.
LSU. And his brothers' names are Hugh and Hugh Tavius. In case you were curious.
Black people can come up with some goddamn names, boy.
Yeah, his oldest brother is Hugh, Hugh, which is a semi-common name. I mean, it's not passe, but I mean, you've probably encountered somebody named Hugh in your lifetime.
Yeah.
And then Hugh Tavius is his other brother.
Hey, boy, black people, we know creative, boy. So now that we done kind of got the fun topics out of the way, so we have to talk about how full of shit the NFL owners, and most, not all, but most of the players have been with this performative unity and solidarity over the weekend because the motherfucker that white folks elected to run the country called players SOBs. I'm going to say this and I'm going to pass it to y'all. I believe that 45 is a goddamn idiot. And I don't think that he did this on purpose. But I also, being the narcissist that he is, I also wouldn't put it past him because the focus of kneeling and protesting has completely been taken away from Colin Kaepernick and the reason he originally knelt or sat or whatever he did. And now the attention, the issues that he brought, well, not brought, but continued to shed light on, like others have done before him, and as he's continuing to do, and others have continued to do after him, and will continue to do. It's become not about him or the issues, but it's become about let's stick a middle finger to 45, and I feel that it is very shameful, because it is way too late after the fact for motherfuckers to be kneeling and protesting now and then not even protesting for the right reasons. And I feel like this is, and hopefully this doesn't erode the legacy of why Colin did what he did and stood for what or knelt for what he knelt for. But I feel like it is, and I think that is very sad and very disgraceful. Boss man, Dan, y'all, the floor is y'all's. I just wanted to open it up.
I mean, the easy and most obvious thing to say about it is, this is what it took. This is the line that had to be crossed. Fucking with the 32 owners is money, or at least a segment of the 32 owners, for them to feel like, oh, I need to go ahead and oppose this guy. Not any of the other harmful shit he said, because I'm not even making this about the football right now. I will later. But all the harmful shit he said, all the hate he campaigned on, all of the harmful rhetoric and the anti-black shit and the anti-woman shit and the anti-immigrant shit and the anti-different religion shit and everything else that he ran on. And people were like, I don't care. He's got the parentheses aura behind his name, so that's what I'm supporting because that's what I do. I support the guy with the parentheses aura behind his name. No matter what. There's no thought, there's no nuance, there's no nothing to it. And I've said that time immemorial on Twitter. Like, I constantly drive that point home. It don't take much for people who are going to vote Republican to vote Republican. All you need to do is see the R and then go for it. It ain't no, oh, well, let me think about the inner workings of how he XYZ or how he, like, I was at work yesterday and, his comments got replayed on the TV and we had the caption on, so we didn't hear him, but we saw him. And it almost made you think, fuck, wouldn't George W. Bush be not so bad right about now?
Oh, boy.
Like, the answer's no, obviously, because he had issues of his own that caused a whole lot of shit to go wrong in the country. But like his shit was more capitalistic. Like Donald Trump's issues are human issues. This is humanity we're talking about. Basic, easy to get right shit that people are just fucking up on for no other reason than, well, he's on my team and he says this, so I guess I got to go with it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And so you get a demonstration. I'm saying that with all of the air quotes in the world. You get this demonstration of solidarity, which this is not solidarity as the protest was originally defined, because the protest was originally about what we know it was about. I'm not about to enumerate that here. So no, this isn't solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. This is solidarity with their money. This is solidarity with, you're not going to tell me to fire the guys who play for my team and help my team make money. This was, I am rich, and yeah, you're rich too, but I'm rich, and you don't tell my rich ass what to do. That's what this was all about. This was not a matter of, police brutality is wrong, and, it means a lot to me that he stands up for this.
Fuck last season. Maybe other than Colin Kaepernick, maybe a couple players here or there. No one gave a damn.
Right, and
here we are.
When it comes to the players, let me say this. I think that here in 2017, now that we're on this side of it, and Colin Kaepernick has been passed over for jobs by many teams that needed quarterbacks, including the shit that happened with the Ravens and even the Jaguars. I want to go and look. I'm leaving that up to the the guys who handle the football shit. I'm just the money. To whoever it is out here having these quarterback issues, and they all passed on them, and I think that lit a fire under a lot of the players' asses, where it was like, yo, they really about this not paying this motherfuckers, to play the game. Like, they really about that life. Like, that could be me next. So let me go ahead on and show support for this man, because they can't hold us all down. They can't keep us all out. We got stars in the mix that's protesting this stuff, so they can't be this restricted to everybody. And I can see in a certain kind of altruistic way, though not necessarily fully so, why the players would feel like, okay, like, let's do this. Let's protest this issue. Like Michael Bennett's doing it. Brandon Marshall's doing it. You got a couple of guys on the Dolphins who did it over in New York this past week. And even the Saints had some. Even the Saints had some players who sat on the bench who were, hey, look, I support Kaepernick on this. I kneel with Cap. I sit with Cap. Whatever. And again, it can, taken less generously, feel like too little, too late, and it can very generously feel like, oh, thank you, finally, these guys are getting it. I'm somewhere in the middle on it. I'm like, okay, so it took Kaepernick not getting this job in 2017, despite the fact that quarterback play around the league is pretty fucking bad right now, and you got this guy who's qualified, and in a few weeks could have your team rolling on more cylinders than they're currently rolling on. And so I can see a certain kind of delay on the players' behalves, which let me also, issue the very general warning that the players aren't exactly the smartest guys in the situation necessarily. And when I say smart, I mean, like, I'm talking actual intelligence quotients. People have blind spots. They know some things. They don't know other things. And as a composite, you have players who are very intelligent. You have players who are football intelligent. And I think if you were to average them all out, they would skew toward the football intelligence side more so than like the book smart side and the seeing things Cap's way side. So it's not a knock on them. It is what it is. I'm not making a value-based judgment on it. I'm just saying that based on that and based on seeing now that like one of their football guys is being held from the game of football as a result of shit that ain't got nothing to do with football, they're realizing, oh shit, like what he's saying has merit, has a point. Let me go ahead and show my support for him.
Yeah, Dan, I agree with you, a lot of what you're saying. I think from just kind of looking at overall, comparing last year to this year, it's been normalized. The form of protest. It's to the point now where, instead of one player or a few players sitting or taking a knee, now you got a hashtag. Now it becomes. I mean, this past weekend it became a thing where, players are they're kneeling, or they're locking arms, or they're doing they're waiting in the tunnel or waiting outside.
And can I say fuck that locking arms shit? Not to cut you off, but fuck that locking arms shit. So
yeah, because remember when that shit started, the locking arms, that was Seattle, and that was their compromise. And all this becomes compromise. Like, well, we're not going to do that, but we're going to do something because we feel like we need to do something. And a lot of that stems from it's going beyond the message of, until black people are treated fairly and until we are not no longer victims of police brutality, which is what it should be, still always be about that. That's what it was originally about. But when it becomes normalized to the point now where everyone's like, well, Trump said this and called us SOBs and we're not. And you're going to respect, the league and respect who we are as players or whatever. Or this might be your patriotism, but this ain't mine because I still live in Black America. And it becomes, it's expanded and like exploded out to this point where this whole thing with Trump, that's when you started seeing the strange bedfellows. It's like in comic books or in cartoons where they have the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's like, be He-Man, Skeletor, and then some next motherfucker come up and he's more powerful than both of them. You're like, oh, well, we gotta team up to get rid of this guy. And that's how I feel it is with like these players that have been kneeling, that have been like protesting for so long, and then they got next thing you know, they're locking arms with the owners, and they're taking a knee with the coaches, and they're doing all this in solidarity. And,
owners that have monetarily
all because of Trump. Right. And it does. I don't think it diminishes what the actual, because the fact is, you couldn't turn on a football game all across, white ass America on your direct TV or whatever have you this past weekend and not see somebody taking a knee. And it got to the point where live coverage, not like this website or this Twitter handle, but live coverage was saying, well, these are the players that are taking a knee, and they got a running list on ESPN and stuff. And I mean, it's kind of fucked up because that's kind of like a Schindler's List type thing. Like, these are the people that have protested. But as that list grows and grows, it's like, well, who ain't taking a knee or who ain't doing some kind of protest? But it has diminished and diluted it because the one guy that started it is not there. He's not employed by the league anymore. And keep in mind, though, when Colin Kaepernick, when he ended the season last season, he said, well, if I come back, I'm not doing any more, kneeling or anything like that. That's not what I'm about. I'm play football. And I don't know if he was going to stick to that or not, but I think he was acknowledging that it's not about him as a person. It's about like what the protest stands for. So people were like, oh, Colin Kaepernick should have, he would want this, or, I think Colin Kaepernick is kind of happy that in some respects that this is continuing even when he's not there, to the point where it's exploded this much. But the sad part is the reason why, and it's a lot of it's because it's diluted to the point where it's like, well, we got to get Trump the fuck out of here, or this guy's going too far, rather than, oh yeah, we actually care about black lives and black bodies.
Exactly.
And these are the field hands that are out here still giving us entertainment, regardless of the fact that we don't give a fuck about them, their brothers, their sisters, their children at home, or anybody that they grew up with, being victims of police brutality. I think the worst of it wasn't even the Jerry Joe's Cowboy shit, but wasn't there like a cop that was participating in the shit, like taking a knee with them? one of the play at some point I saw his tweets about it, and I'm like, that's kind of messed up because it's about y'all really. It's about these damn police out here.
Right, like that's what, like, and like I'm. It's just I can't, like, the one, like players like Michael Bennett, Brandon Marshall, Reed, the one I forget his first name. That was
Eric Reed.
Yeah, that
Eric
was
Reed for the 49ers. Yeah,
you know, that was dealing with Colin and understood his message, and you know, I have no issues with, because like, and it's fucked up, but to me it kind of is what it is. It's like you were there like from day one. Like these other niggas, like they literally, had Trump not said this, none of this would have happened. And it's not even like they're protesting. Don't you come for the NFL? Don't you come for all players? Like what was all this activism when it comes to domestic violence? Where's all this activism when it came to Colin? Why did it take Trump having to get into it and calling y'all names for you to back Colin and his message, and you ain't even representing the message and the reason he did it in the first place? Like, it's not about, and that's why I can't really respect it. Ain't no really about it. I don't respect it. Like, it's it took this, and like Shannon Sharpe been on it. Like, I hope to God that Shannon Sharpe don't say nothing homophobic or misogynistic, so I can still keep rooting for this nigga, because he been on folks' ass. He was like, Skilp. He was like, so you mean to tell me these owners that back Trump, literally gave money to his campaign, have stood by all the fucked up things he said and done, all the harmful policies he said and done, have tried to remain neutral? Like, shout out Mark MLK. I keep quoting this shit, and I know y'all get tired of me, but god damn it, I can't, until it stop applying. When it stop applying, I'll stop saying it. But that white moderate shit, where it's like, okay, we say we support the player and we support Colin Kaepernick's message or whatever. Oh, but we still gonna donate $1 million to Donald Trump. Oh, but we still gonna say we prefer not to have our players kneel for the anthem. Oh, we understand his message, but we just prefer he not do it XYZ, or wanted to do it XYZ how on our time. So all this shit, the issue's right there in your motherfucking face. And it took 45 calling y'all SOBs or telling y'all to fire players, that if they choose to do this, fire players. It took him trying to tell y'all what to do for y'all to be on the right side of things, quote unquote. Nah, man, I can't respect that shit.
Right, same. Like, and again, we talking about, even like we're doing it now, like we're talking about this Trump shit more than we talking about the police brutality. And I mean, we have to do this because it's a correction. It's steering that conversation away from the fuck shit. But like, the fact that the fuck shit gets to be the fuck shit, like it's got a seat at the table in the discourse. Which, by the way, seat at the table turns 1 year old later at the end of this month.
Damn, time flies.
Right, but yeah, no, like that shit, it's ingrained in the conversation now. And what you're doing, or what we're having to do, instead of saying, hey, like this whole like police brutality thing, you know, cops are out there killing people, you know, who are unarmed without consequence, and then the police investigate the police and find out that the police didn't do nothing wrong, so the police are concluding that the police did nothing wrong, and the police are going to continue being the police. Like, we get these situations, and people are fed up with this shit, and they should be. And the response is, y'all turning it into some shit about the troops, or some shit about, you know,
disrespecting the flag or patriotism.
The flag, or the country. And it's like, the biggest disrespect in the country is the fact that we got to do this at all.
Yes. Well, I mean, think about the people that are adopting or co-opting this the same way protest was co-opted right after Trump was elected. Remember all the remember all the 53% that was out there with the vagina hats out here in DC and all these cities and shit? Where they at now? Where they at now as far as like what's been happening at this point? I'm sure they're still disgusted, but I mean, the loudest their voice was right then and there after he done called, after he got elected and was talking about nasty women and shit like that. And it was like, we're so tired, and they wore the vagina hats and everything else. But it was like, after that, it was like, crickets until this point. And we're going to keep seeing 4 years of buyer's remorse from all these different subgroups that at one point or another didn't give a shit about black issues, didn't give a shit about our bodies or our lives, coming out, popping up and saying, oh, well, now we care because now he's fucking with this or that. And now with solidarity. And it's going to be up to a lot of people that have been out there on the front line to go, well, either get the fuck away from me or, okay, well, now that you're here, by the way, this is what it is. This is always what it's been. And you got to be in it for the long haul. Like I want to say I applaud because it's kind of sad that I would have to say that, but I am thankful for those few white folk that are out there that actually know what the fuck they're out there for.
Right.
They're not talking about the flag or nothing else. They're like, we are out here. I'm taking a knee because my teammates, their lives matter. That Black lives do matter. They'll come out their mouth and say that shit. The guy that was on the Dallas, and I forget the sportscaster's name, and he had like a piece or a feature on his show, and he like talked about what the protest actually means. And I thought, this is an old white gray-haired man, and he's sitting there he's sitting there basically white man splaining to his audience, which ain't us, which is all those guys that like tune in for Cowboys football talk or something about these protests and what they actually mean. He said at the end, if you don't believe that white privilege is an actual thing, then you don't know what it's like. You don't really understand what it means to be American, because that's part of what this country's built on. And I was like, right. Good, because I see Bomani talk about it all the time, and I say the same thing, which is why it got to be our job to fix racism. Like, I know Colin Kaepernick went out there and he took a courageous stand, and he actually, it cost him his career, arguably. Or there's a lot of brothers and sisters that go out there on the front line and it costs them something. But at a certain point, it's like, why is it our problem to solve? We're basically saying stop killing us, and more people that actually have a position of privilege or power need to say, hey, we need to stop killing people. We need to stop doing this. Mm-hmm. And we need to have that seat at the table. I mean, I hate to say it, but there should be more white faces than black faces trying to solve this problem.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, solving the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually having that discussion. White people love to have that start the conversation. I'm just trying to start the conversation. Well, motherfucker, you here? Where's the conversation? Because you need to start to have that shit. And don't be trying to put no black faces, no black token faces to help you have that conversation and shit. You know what I'm saying? You could talk to DeRay, but I think you need to continue that conversation with all the rednecks and all the other folk that are out there at these Trump rallies and shit, and talk to them about what the fuck's wrong with y'all.
Right.
I mean, we shouldn't have to teach people how to treat us like human beings.
Yeah, it's not the responsibility of the oppressed to fix what the oppressor made, and that goes for every group. It goes for white people with racism. It goes for men with misogyny and sexism, and I know a lot of niggas hate to hear that, but it's the fucking truth. It goes for cishet people with fixing homophobia and transphobia and anti-LGBTQIA sentiments and stuff. Like, if you in the privileged group, it's your job to either try to, if you in the privileged group, it's either your job to try to fix the problem or protect those that the problem is affecting. And if that ain't you, then that's fine, air quotes, but then you don't get to act like you're a good person, because inaction is an action.
Yeah.
It ain't no damn both sides to oppression. Ain't no damn I'm a good person, but I don't speak up and speak out about shit. You can't have both. You can't have both. It's either one or the other. And a lot of motherfuckers at different intersections, you know, whether it's, you know, men, black men in particular, with misogyny and shit, you know, white people with racism. Like, a lot of motherfuckers want to have it both ways, where they don't want to speak up and speak out, but they also don't want their privileged group attacked. And that shit don't work. You can't have that shit both ways.
Yeah, I mean, I would even say, you know, even like how, you know, people that, you know, the able with the disabled, as far as like, you know, disability rights and people, the rights of people that actually, you know, can't that are disabled, or that need like certain accessibility or certain you know, certain things that we won't need. Yeah, we have to speak more considerate as people, and realize that, yeah, your apathy is going to save your ass and you save your dollars, you know, as far as like, you know, you're not putting yourself at risk, but eventually you're going to have to go out in the world and face these people, or eventually you are probably benefiting from these people more than you actually realize, you know. And I think with a lot of what white America, or what a lot of males have to deal with, or even straight people, is we have a lot of dependency on these what are we considering minorities, or these oppressed classes, in so many forms, in entertainment, in sports, in music, in television. And it's like, oh yeah, I love Insecure Issa Rae, but next thing you know, women ain't shit. And you know, and it's like, yeah, you're watching a show run by a woman, that's written by a woman, and that's, you know, that, and you're pretty much down in women while you're watching the show, talking about Team Lawrence. Like,
look at how many people use gay slang and jargon but are homophobic as fuck.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, is that like I'm saying, like, they want it both ways, where they want to like adopt, you know, the cool aspects of whatever group, privileged group they're taking from, but then they also don't want to respect their humanity. You can't have that shit both ways. That ain't how the fuck this works.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point the NFL, and I'm surprised Roger Goodell hasn't like done his Roger Goodelius, which is to step in and start making stupid ass rule, like you can't do this outside in the tunnel, or you have to do this before the anthem, or some, you know, it's gonna be like it's gonna reach the off season or something, and they're gonna have some dumbass rule that's gonna like regulate protest even further. Mm-hmm. Or we're gonna have a conversation about this, and then we're gonna come up with some ways to have a protest week or something, or put protest things on your shoes, and that's all you can do, or some bullshit, and basically water it down even further, make it corporate. I'm surprised he hasn't done that to this point, but I feel like, you know, I feel like it's gotten big enough now where, again, you're going to look for it each week, and it becomes more of a, now that you're here, more people are going to make this about other bullshit. You know, you see the Pat Tillman shit running around, as far as like the, you know, people invoking him as, well, he wouldn't want to do this, and now people have to explain, well, Pat Tillman didn't give a fuck about this, and this. All he cared about was, you know, and this is what he really believed in. It's like, it had to come out to the point where his widow had to say, look, stop using my husband for your defenses of things. You know, like, he's dead. He don't give a fuck about none of y'all. He's gone. You know, keep my husband's name out your mouth. He didn't die for any of this shit. He died because he died. He got shot by one of his fucking fellow soldiers in some friendly fire bullshit. You know, but it's come to the point where it's like, well, now that you're here, you know, this is what it's about. What you gonna do about it? Because it's one thing to say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take this knee, or I'm gonna have solidarity, and once the game's over, you know, are you going back? Like Colin Kaepernick, he put his money where his mouth is, so to speak, because remember when he actually started doing it, they were like, well, what are you going to do about it beyond that? Are you just taking a knee? And he's like, no. And he started actually
being in these streets.
Yeah, being out in these streets. So even now, he spends time and money and energy actually helping the communities across the U.S. He's going to Africa, and you know, he's pretty much devoted his life to it now. And it's like, well, we don't even know if he's going to have enough money for the next year or a couple years or whatever. He's got money, but you know, that shit runs out. And it's like, you know, he's like, I see something bigger than just coming back and playing. It'd be nice, but you know, I'm gonna do this with the rest of my life. And I mean, that's a decision he made, and he didn't even have to make that decision. He could have just been like, "Fuck yo, I did what I did. I said what I said. Yo, leave me alone. I don't know y'all shit." And he don't owe nobody shit. That's the even bigger part of this. You know who owes are the people that makes money off the backs of these players, or off the backs of African Americans. Those are the ones that owe. I do want to see Jerry Jones take a knee. He should take a knee every damn week.
Well, yeah, that motherfucker damn near on the dialysis machine, so he probably taking a lot of knees. Hell. Oh, can we just say like that shit? Like I didn't think, I was talking with Dan pregame. I didn't think the Cowboys could mirror an already ass protest by everybody, but these motherfuckers really knelt before the goddamn. These motherfuckers knelt and locked arms pregame, and Jerry Jones was out there looking like he just got through calling Dez Bryant a nigga.
Until they do like an HBCU and do the Star Spangled Banner and then follow that up with Lift Every Voice and Sing as the real anthem, that's when I'm gonna know it's real. That's when I know y'all give a fuck about Black lives. As soon as you do that shit,
right? And then put that Knock If You Buck beat on it too while we at it.
Yeah, or Rough Riders. I saw that this morning with the Rough Riders anthem lyrics, and then he was like, "Yo."
I tell you, boy, niggas can turn tragedy into comedy, boy. Nick, we some creative ass motherfuckers. I seen so many goddamn jokes. And look,
hey, it's sad. It's a sad situation, but guess what? We still gonna do.
Yeah, like that's why I ain't even like, and I've said this consistently. Like, this is no shade or shot to anybody that is making this decision to either stop or limit their consumption of the NFL and football. More power to you. No shade at all. Just for me, I would feel like a huge ass hypocrite, and even more so now that the NFL is basically gentrified Collins protest. But I would feel like a huge ass hypocrite if now was the moment where I checked out, when I didn't check out when motherfuckers in the NFL was abusing their kids. I didn't check out when motherfuckers were goddamn rapists in the league. Motherfuckers were goddamn domestic abusing they women and shit. Like, I would feel like a huge ass hypocrite if it would be like, this is the moment where I checked out a boycott of the NFL.
I mean, okay, so I got really strong conflicting thoughts about that. And very broadly, let me say that I see the point of that, and I see the goodwill, and I see the sort of personal hand wringing that goes with that. But whoo, boy, that man.
Hey, look! Shout out to
that shit runs deep in entertainment, like
it's everywhere. It's like
deep with a capital deep, like, and I'm not trying to reduce, I'm not trying to trivialize, I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, it's so widespread that it's just be inconsequential, like HPV, for example. It's not that all. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just like, yo, we got to start inventorying everything. Like, and this is splash damage of being woke. Like, you got to start inventorying everything. Like, I know people who are like, I don't shop at Walmart no more. I don't do this. I don't go to this place. I don't do that place. I boycotted this airline industry and this auto dealer and this and this the next. And it's like, man, you basically got to do a clean wipe on your entertainment and listen to, like, you got like D1, Lecrae, and Tyler Perry, I think, at this point. I don't even know about him. So
it's almost like, it's like social veganism. You know how, like, you when you become a vegetarian, you're like, I'm not eating meat no more. And then it's like, okay, now I'm a vegan because now I don't want to, I want a cruelty free. So I don't even want any products that have been cruelly, with the animals, whatever. And like, I don't wear deodorant that, has animal fat in it, or like you pretty much, you start checking off the boxes, and there's more boxes to check because you realize how much more involved that shit is in, like, the fabric of things. Like, there's people that, like, they'll wear nothing but hemp because they're like, okay, the clothes, how they're made, whatever. that's almost kind of how people are with this, you know, with kind of how they want to basically position themselves socially when they say, well, I don't fuck with the NFL no more because of violence, whatever, and violence against women, and I don't fuck with this no more, and I don't fuck with pro wrestling no more because of the misogyny. I don't fuck with, it's like, okay, now do you even have a TV? Do you even have a computer? Do you have like a phone with internet access? Because I mean, like, at some point you gotta like enjoy things too. And I mean, I can't keep score for people, and I'm hoping no one keeps score for me. If you are,
right, yeah,
I'm down a lot. You know, as far as what I give a fuck about. But yeah, I mean, like I was gonna say earlier, shout out to all these publications like Blavity and Very Smart Brothers and all them that have like, you know, the think pieces. Like, I'm not watching the NFL no more. This is why. And, I mean, some of them were jokes and stuff, but I'm like, that's cool. But yeah. I'll click on that if I want to read it.
right, yeah, and like I said, I'm
the people that announcing that shit, they're getting their reward right there. Like, as soon as they say, as soon as they start proclaiming that shit, like, well, I'm not watching it. Okay, good. Here's your cookie. Do you eat cookies? It's a gluten free.
Well, you know, hold on. I gotta push back on that, Classic, a little bit, because I feel like we do that shit pejoratively, because I read those things and they always. Because people project that shit. Because it never is like, it never comes off as like, I'm not doing X, Y, Z. Because like I read that on Smart Brothers. That
was a parody, the one, yeah.
Well, one of them was serious. I read that one about like how it's you know, they're not hold on, fuck, where was I going with this? Okay, I got it back. One of them was kind of serious, as like the reason as to why we didn't check out when like these players who like I said, being domestic abusers and abusing, you know, women and shit is what was kind of linked to misogyny and kind of like an overall theme in society where it's like we really don't punish or give a fuck when, you know, motherfuckers abuse women, which is true. As a society, we don't. And they were like, I would feel like a hypocrite. And I saw so many people look at that shit and project as if he told them, like, I'm saying this, so now you don't have to watch the NFL. It's a personal choice. Like, and I feel like we project on that shit when we see these pieces where people are like, I'm not watching the NFL because X, Y, Z. We project on that shit because of our own internal turmoil of like wanting to be entertained, but also knowing this is fucked up, but also wanting to be a good person and on the side of right, but also knowing that this is problematic and still fucking with it. We project that on them, was like we acting like they told us what to do when they not. They just sharing their opinion and they're entitled to that. Just like you're entitled.
And I'm gonna say this, Jeremy. That is a failure of the people that edit these pieces or that like put the headlines on these things, because a lot of times you get the clickbait headline and you're like, this is why I'm not watching it and why you shouldn't either. And you go in there and it's a very thought-provoking argument. I know the article you're speaking of, but that doesn't reflect in what brought people there. So they either don't read the thing in full, or they go at the end of it like, well, why did you bring me here with this fucking stupid ass headline, which is what they're really trying to say. You know, and
I agree with that. A lot of times the headlines
do a better job of you know, I know people trying to sell clicks and stuff, and that's what it is, you know, but people got to do a better job of like presenting these arguments too. It's you know, they're really going the long way to tell you something that really should just be meaningful, which is y'all didn't give a fuck about women before. Now you're giving a fuck because it has to do with, you know, with something that, you know, is closer to home. Maybe you should think about giving a fuck about women more often.
Right.
You know,
like I agree with you.
But that was 3 sentences that pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And they're like, a lot of times it's how they edit it and shit. I won't disagree there, but then, you know, but at the same time, I do see the other side. You know what I mean? I do see where they don't, you know, edit it out of context and don't like try to do clickbait, and people still do that projection shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's either way, it's still like people have a subconscious battle where they know something is fucked up, but then the inner conflict of them knowing that this is fucked up, but they still enjoy it, and them lashing out at people that are pointing out. Like prime example. How many motherfuckers prove the point of that Very Smart Brothers article that says straight black men are the white people or black people? How many of niggas prove the exact point of that goddamn article? What even after they read it, they still prove the point of the damn article. You know? So it's
they didn't jump into that fray because I know some of them saw it before Jemele Hill tweeted it, and it was because she tweeted about it. It was like now they jumped on her.
Exactly. When they turned on her so goddamn fast.
Like by the time Jemele tweeted it, and maybe it's because who I follow, I've seen it retweeted like at least 4 or 5 times. So when she put it up there, it was like, oh, it's the latest.
And you know what the gag was? You know what the most hilarious part about that shit was? She didn't even say, I mean, maybe you can make the argument that she alluded that she agreed with it, but for the most part, all she said was, well, she basically did what niggas always do when they quote artista shit and say, uh-oh, or yikes, or whatever, trying to be funny, or trying to be sassy, or whatever. All she said was interesting, and niggas proved the exact point of the goddamn article. So I do agree. Sometimes it's the editing and the clickbait and shit, but then a lot of times other times it's just folks' internal insecurities, and we project and lash out, similar to how white people do when we call them out on their shit.
Head dog's always going to holler. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we got to ask these same people that are out there that showed up. Well, now that you're here,
what are you going to do forward?
What you going to do now? Because now all of a sudden you want to clear your good name, huh? Right. Because that's what the All Lives Matter has to deal with. It's like, oh, all lives do matter, huh? Well, now that you're here. No. By the way, it's motherfucking Atlantis in Puerto Rico right now. What the fuck are you doing over there?
Yep.
They're still Americans. Did you forget that?
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what's lost in a lot of this too. Like this whole thing with Trump, people are coming at him from that side. Like, you giving a fuck about all these players and calling them SOBs. Puerto Rico is underwater. You know, where's the relief? This is not a foreign country. You know?
Exactly. But I think that was good conversation, if you will. But like the true test will be what everybody does moving forward. Like I say, I think we're all kind of in consensus where we like, okay, cool, but we still kind of don't respect y'all because y'all didn't. It took this for y'all to give a fuck, quote unquote, about Colin and his message or whatever.
Well, no, it took this to get them to give a fuck about anything at all.
Well, yeah,
they're not even on the wavelength as Colin Kaepernick. And like I said, pursuant to the whole, like, this is what it took to get people to start boycotting. Like
this is the lowest.
My own emotions are hard enough to keep in check. I try not to do that to other people. And I try not to, like, again, sort of like micromanage. Oh, like, so that's what it took for you. Oh, that was the smoking gun for you. Oh, that was the XYZ for you. Like, I try not to do that anymore, just because it's a bad use of my energy.
Like this though.
Yeah, like, again, even still, like, it's bad for me because, again, like, I'm so emotionally volatile, and like when various players in the past have been accused of this shit, I've been like, yo, he's a fuck nigga, suspend him, like, throw the book at him. And when the NFL did the whole no more thing and did the commercials and the Super Bowl shit and everything else, like, it was like, all right, cool, like, now they got a precedent in place. You do this, like, this is how bad it's going to cost you. This is where it's going to hit you. So, like, and it's public, and it's like the leading discussion for the 2014 NFL season was how the Ray Rice thing was mishandled. And so you got this punishment in place, man. You have multiple players who've run afoul of it since then, and none of them have been subject to the punishment that they established in 2014 since then. So it's like, you got a paper tiger in charge right now. Like, there's no power behind what it is that you're saying about this. And I've seen certainly fans be pissed about it, you know, whether it was the Josh Brown thing or whether it was the Ezekiel Elliott thing, which was totally mishandled like we talked about in the past. Or, you know, whatever it was. But, like, football fanhood would like that shit would have died in the 70s if it was a matter of, you know, domestic violence and drug use and, you know, all this other shit, you know, being the thing that precluded people from enjoying the game, enjoying the players, what have you. Again, all I want out of this is, you know, again, like if that's your mission and if that's the thing that you're doing, like do it, go for it, like be full and throat about it. And to the degree that you can, get people on your side of things, get people to see things your way. But understand it's going to be tough because, like, let's just face it, all of us know somebody who's been a victim of domestic violence. You know, I'm 33. I got friends who were teenagers who were victims of that shit. I got friends yesterday who were victims of that shit. Like it doesn't go away. And no, like I don't want the gravity of it to be like to seem like it's being reduced or like, you know, like I'm downplaying anything like that. It's just it's a hard thing that only recently became like an eye-on focus in the NFL. And I hope that people who are like about that life are about that life. Like, this player does this, he makes this transgression, he's done, he's out of here. Campaign for him to, you know, to have the book thrown at him. He does the shit again, he's out the league. Whatever the terms are. Like, fight for that shit. Like, seriously.
Yeah. I think this would be a great time to transition. We about to get up out of here, but we are going to do something that got a lot of y'all to fuck with us when we started this podcast. We were doing this ever since we were guests on the Good and Terrible Show, and then also we were guests on Single Simulcast. We are going to do a staple of our show, and we are going to do misconnections. And then we're gonna get up out of here.
Let me guess, you want to do it from Detroit, don't you?
No, nigga. Actually, because that wasn't the most what the fuck L of the week. It was the Cowboys and they non-protest ass protests. For the record, this shit with the NFL is not about individual fan bases. Everybody getting these jokes because everybody is complicit in their inaction prior to this. Everybody catching these slugs. Everybody is, for the most part, you know, with a few exceptions, like I said, Michael Bennett, you know, and people that have been doing this and for the right reasons, for the reason that Cap started it. Other than them, everybody is trash on this. Every single goddamn body. So
shout out to my hometown team, the New York Jets. Not one Jet took a knee, which is apropos because they're gonna be at the bottom of the league anyways. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I didn't even catch the game against Detroit, but I'm pretty sure the Falcons did some all lives matter type shit before the game because that's what the Falcons do, some all lives matter type shit. But like everybody is trash in this situation. So if someone is clowning your team, please don't take it as a personal attack as them just hating. Everybody is trashing this. Nobody is handling this correctly. Everybody is full of shit. The Cowboys probably just did everything that everybody else was doing. They just did it in arguably a more egregious way. So it's not an attack on the fan base. And quite frankly, this is more important than football and individual fan bases. So, but with that said, we doing these misconnections from Dallas. Well, at least two of these misconnections from Dallas. The other one is one that the two of these misconnections from Dallas. The other one is from Green Bay, which we were supposed to do last week, but somebody wanted to be damn petty, and they were good misconnections too. They were Willie James type level misconnections too, but somebody didn't want to do them from Green Bay because they petty as all hell. But that's enough. But we don't need to get into that.
They don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. My Titans handled business last week.
He was Marcus Mariota.
Hey. Come on, man.
This is my favorite part. My favorite part of your show is when these white quarterbacks come on as guests. I don't know how you keep booking all these he who is, but it's wonderful.
I don't know how he keep doing the voices, because like he have a different voice for each one.
Jeremy, wrestling term. Don't break the kayfabe. Y'all actually booked these white quarterbacks on the show. He was Kirk Cousins actually here on the program.
Yeah, edit that part out when you upload the video. Edit that part out.
But before we start, too, being at this Misconnections, Jeremy, I was up in Yo City this past 2 weeks.
And I ain't heard from your ass, and I'm mad about it.
Every day I was like, I'm hit Jeremy up and be like, let me come through. And then every day like something else happened, and I was like, oh, I forgot. Because trust me, there was a lot of people that I didn't connect with. Shout out to Tobias Wilborn, though. I actually got to hang with him like a few times, actually. We did some Beer It Is. We did some Know the Score. Like we went, we hooked up at a Braves game and everything. Had a good time out there. I will be back. I got family out there, so next time we're going to kick it.
Misconnections. I was waiting for the shit too. I was like, I know Classic's supposed to be here. This nigga ain't hit me up yet. I'll be damned.
I was tweeting Instagram and all types of shit with hashtag I'm in Yo City. Like I just had brunch with your auntie. We just had chicken and waffles. I'm in Yo City hashtag because I wanted people to know I was out there. But I mean, first week was work, and then after that I was free. So I mean, I did some things. You're gonna read about it in a future Atlanta Misconnections, I'm sure. But
yeah. It's all right.
You know what? Yeah, let's get on with the Misconnection, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to do the one that from Green Bay from last week.
The one that you were able to preserve?
Yes, because the rest of them was deleted. Either they were deleted or the author. They ain't there. The point is they ain't there.
They got flagged. They do.
Yeah. Honestly, they should have got flagged. But let me worship your unwashed feet. That's the title. Looking for 18 to 25-year-olds to let me.
Just so y'all know, before Jeremy starts reading this, I've taken my earbuds out of my ears. I can't hear him, so I don't know if he just kept talking to you. He might have. I don't know. I can't prove it because my earbuds are in my hand, in front of my laptop, just sitting here chilling. Because that title, I can't.
I'm waiting to see if this is a biblical misconnection of some sort, because that was the last time somebody was washing unwashed feet. But
I shall continue. Looking for 18 to 25-year-old to let me sniff and worship their feet, unwashed or smelly, it do not matter. Send face pic and let's do this. I will make it worth your time if I can keep your socks. No face pic, no reply. Discreet and expect the same. The end.
He wants to worship. And I'm assuming this is a man or a male.
Yeah. It don't say the gender, but I mean, let's be real. Only some men would do some crazy shit.
But like, first off, the age range was kind of fun, 18 to 25. So it's like looking for a demographic,
right?
Like after 20, once it's his 26, there's too many corns and calluses and bunions. So nah, you gotta keep them young. And so they want to see and worship unwashed feet. So funky feet, you have to stand in all day, and then on top of that,
all right, I'm back. What's going on? Huh?
You want to see a face pic as verification that this person has feet?
Yes. The logistics don't make sense. It don't make sense. They want
42 here because I don't understand. And wait, why do you need a verification of someone's face that they have feet? Like, do you also want a foot picture too, or is that like not even a requirement? You just have to have unwashed feet. And why do you need proof of life for feet? If it's just feet, you're not looking at the person's face. Like, do you have to take a picture of the person's face in front of a newspaper with the day and date on it just to prove, oh, well, these are the right feet?
Yeah, I only like these type of feet. See, you got to correct that foot.
Like,
you got to get up in there.
If you look like the lunch lady in the face and got pretty ass feet, I mean, doesn't matter.
It's like, is he assuming that someone that don't have a face don't have feet? Like, what is going on? I have questions. He whoever this nigga is, he want smelly ass feet though. He know what he want. He know what's real.
Some of them cheese heads are actual cheese. I gotta believe that. Like they actually wear stinky cheese on their head because yeah.
Yeah, because it don't make sense otherwise.
Some funky shit going on here.
Literally.
Oh, by the way, I did see some cheeseheads in Atlanta at the hotel I was staying at. When they came for the Packers came for that game and got whooped by the Falcons. And then they was out there in full regalia checking into the hotel. Like the game, it wasn't even game day. They had the jerseys on and had the fucking cheese on their head. I'm like, I'm gonna check into my room, please. And I was like, look at these motherfuckers. You just came off the bus.
Right.
But anyway.
Talk about dedication.
Yeah.
But yeah. So next misconnection. Ample bosoms at Fresco's 917. V, is this you? No, I'm just playing. You and your husband came in around 1:45 and sat at a table next to me. You had blonde hair. Wearing a Cowboys jersey. Your girls appeared to be wanting to bust out of that top. So a few minutes later, an older couple came in and sat with you. Mom, mother-in-law. Wow. She was wearing an orange top and her ample bosom seemed to be screaming for release.
Whoa!
My mother-in-law. So this is 2 generations of like bosoms that you just like lusting after. Go on. Continue.
As I continue.
Actually, don't continue. This misconnection's over. No, continue.
Would have loved to take care of both of y'all and provide plenty of attention to those tits. Can use my mouth to explore your other areas. We'll continue to dine there. Great food, great view of sweet lady diners. Have a fine week. The end.
So somebody go check V-Man's tweets. Make sure he wasn't in Dallas.
Dog, I swear to God.
Somebody do that for me. Somebody confirm that for me.
I swear it never fails. We always have some damn misconnections, and we not sure if it's V or not. It never fucking fails.
No,
Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of folk that are into the the Tiggo, that are into that more than anything else. This guy was willing to, and of course he wrote this down in Craigslist, so it's not like he was willing to actually do this in person, but it seemed like he would have made a play for said ample bosoms in front of her man or in front of her husband. Like you walked in with your man, and I was asphyxiated on those ample bosoms. Like, whoa, wait, damn!
I was still staring.
That's addiction right there. You were going to get punched in the mouth by somebody that's willing to prove they love because you have to stare some titties. Now, mind you, you didn't stop at one pair. A whole other generation walked in of titty. And you had to stare at that too in front of probably her man, who was probably granddad or stepfather or dad or whatever. You didn't even make any assumptions. He just said, well, it's another pair. And, obviously y'all related somehow.
Right. How you gonna plot on some titties that granddad been with for 50 years? How you gonna do that? That's just wrong.
Them titties had to dodge the draft. Them titties. them titties.
What's wrong with you, Classic?
That's a lot of titties. Hey, look, I can't front. There's some of your aunties out here that I won't mind giving a nice time to, but you got to understand context. You know what I'm saying? Like if look, if them titties. Nah, man, I can't. I was about to say something about, I can't.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, if them titties march with Martin Luther King.
No, hey, Hey, them titties were high five and burning when he marched with Martin Luther King.
Exactly.
Boy.
Across the bridge in Selma. Is that what you're saying? Hey, titties on titty. But let's keep it a buck. This guy is so titty, or this person, I should say, is so, because it could be anybody, is so affixed on breasts, willing to basically stare past couples, past significant others. He's eating at the same restaurant.
Nah, this nigga was willing. This nigga was willing to this nigga in his pursuit of titties was willing to bypass a man that done been through the Civil War to stare at some goddamn titties. Like, nigga.
The man took a musket, came home, took a musket ball to the shoulder, suffered dysentery, came home to them titties, and then now you still want to hone in and get your share.
The level of disrespect, like, how dare you?
How dare you?
Well, are you okay? No, the fuck you not okay.
Them titties was around for the first Kwanzaa. When that's some inaugural Kwanzaa titties, and here you come.
Right.
Here you come.
Titties was
in Dallas at your favorite greasy spoon, where I'm sure all the waitresses, all the wait staff are like, amply bound. And then you say amples with freckles?
at Frisco's. I guess the spot is named Frisco.
Oh, at Frisco's. Okay. I thought it was Freckles. Okay.
So them titties do remember the Alamo.
Yeah. This is a good ad for Frisco's though. Like, if you in Dallas, you come down to Frisco's because I'm used to ample women throughout, and they make great content.
This is some hella advertising.
Yeah.
All right. Last misconnection, then we're gonna get up out of here. Real talk, man to man.
Oh.
Okay. True.
Nah, I'm preparing myself to read this shit. Phew. All right, here I go. I pray to God that you come across this ad because I'm practically begging you to let her go. I know I made mistakes and that's why she's with you right now, but those mistakes have turned me into a better man. I know now what it takes to make her happy. I'm sure you can find another woman that you can have kids with, marry, and have a great life. Just let her go. There's a special bond that her and I have, and you know what that is. If you have any compassion, you let her go and let me try to make her happy again. Just give me that opportunity in all caps. And in return, I'll make and in return, I'll make this promise to you, and this is from one man to another. If you let her go and I can't make her happy, I'll come back to you and shake your hand and tell you to make her happy again, and I'll walk away for good. I hope you come across this and have it in your heart to do the right thing. Please, in all caps, please let her go. The end.
This is the first time in Misconnections history that I classify. Maybe somebody else will come up with this too, but this is the first time I think anyone has accused a Misconnection of being plagiarism. Because I swear to God, this is the same letter that Dan Gilbert wrote to Pat Riley when he wanted LeBron back.
Wow. Holy shit. Wow.
Word for word. Probably in Comic Sans too.
Fuck. Jesus Christ, classic. That is gold. Wow.
Changed around the pronouns a couple times, but
I
swear to God, I will make it. I made some mistakes. It made me a better man. If I could get the opportunity.
Yes. No, what killed me was this motherfucker said, do the right thing. Nigga.
This is the first time I've ever heard a baby please to the man that took your woman. If you would be so kind.
You know what this is? This is the male version of hello, Barbara, this is Shirley.
This is Carl Thompson's Board About Me, like
Yeah.
fleshed out now a fully living human.
Yes, this is that line in song form. Yes, that is.
This is the long version of "But My Grandmama Gave Me That Chain."
Now this nigga said, "Do the right thing, nigga." Obviously, you didn't do the right thing. That's why she with the nigga she went now.
Yeah. Trust me, there is no British gentleman that's going to consider that shit. They're going to laugh in your face, because this. I don't care how proper you are. I mean, you gonna have to fight.
You gonna have to scrap, dog. It just is what it is. You gonna have to scrap.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Don't you want to fight for your love, man?
No, like this nigga. No, I've never seen no shit like this where a man is begging another man. The man, he is begging the man that his woman that he did wrong is with now to leave him and give old boy another chance. I ain't never heard no shit like this.
And then I'm talking about you can have any woman out there. You gonna be happy regardless. You ain't gonna miss out on nothing.
Right.
This is the grown folk version of your little brother asking if he could get a free round in Street Fighter, or let me just fix my controller buttons real fast.
Oh, god damn it!
All right, you know what this is? Know what this is? Game cheating. Game cheating, man.
Yeah, that's it. The game cheating.
How you gonna do me like this, man? The game cheating right now, man.
Yeah. What you got? A cheat code up in here? You got Game Genie? What the fuck's going on here? Someone with this controller, man. There's a button stuck right here. Look, the X button stuck. I can't even do anything.
All right.
Why the game cheating so bad?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. It's over. This is classic. Boss man, thank you so much for giving us a platform to host this crazy ass show for going on 3+ years. And also thank you for joining us on this special episode. We really appreciate it, man.
Always my pleasure, gentlemen. I'm glad to have you on for 3 years. Hopefully we get 3 more, or even more than that. Maybe somebody will ride out to Temecula and we'll have another reason to come back again together in the near future. Shout out to Rashani and a lot of those other folk that have been with y'all from since, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out to Rashani, who wanted to be here but he couldn't. Because I asked him and Classic to be with us, but Rashani sent us some love, and I'm basically their third co-host because I'm over there with him and Shante damn near literally once every month. So
yeah.
But you know what, Classic? You know what? You take us out. Go ahead and take us out.
Oh man. Let's see. Make sure you check us out, Crown and College, on Twitter. It is at Crown, the capital N, Collards, or hashtag the show. Keep the discussion going with Crown and College, Crown A&D College on Twitter, on the Instagram if you want to talk about it there. Follow us on Twitter at CSPN Media. Check me out, of course, Classic Materia. Dan Chrism, Black Dante. Make sure you check them out, of course, and tune in each week at CSPN.us for new episodes of Chronic College. And like that, be a greater hoe, not a hater hoe. And we out here. Hit my music.
Peace.
Thank y'all.